What really happened between Jin and his assistant to make Jungkook angry? Why is it that the heated debate is not seen in front of the camera but instead explodes behind the scenes? The army is now confused between fact and speculation. Is this just cheap gossip or a signal of tension that has been hidden for so long? The shocking news shook the South Korean entertainment world again, especially among BTS's loyal fans, ARMY. This time it's not about new songs, solo projects, or achievements on global charts, but rather a horrendous internal issue. Reportedly, there was a heated debate between Jungkook and Jin, two BTS members who are known to have a close relationship. The trigger? The figure of Jin's personal assistant, who has recently been in the spotlight, not only because of his proximity to Jin, but also because of his attitude that is considered too familiar to trigger awkwardness among other members. An anonymous source who claims to be close to one of HYB's staff said that tensions began to be felt since a few months ago. Jungkook, who is known to be a perfectionist and very protective of the group's image and dynamics, reportedly showed direct displeasure towards Jin regarding the professional relationship that turned too personal between Jin and his assistant. Jungkook feels there are limits that should be maintained. She sees Jin starting to rely too much on her assistant, even in decisions that are usually personal or group, the source said. Secret recording snippets. Why do you hear him, not us? The issue got even more heated when pieces of audio recordings circulated that were believed to have come from their rehearsal room. In the less than 2-minute audio, Jungkook's alleged voice is heard saying in a high tone, "Hyung, why are you always consulting with him? We're a team, not a duo." While Jin is heard answering in a restrained voice, "I need someone who can help me personally. He knows my work rhythm better now." The conversation immediately spread widely in Korean online communities, including forums such as Pan and Mako, until it finally caused a wave of discussion among the international army. Hashtags such as hashtag #JungkookMorca, hashtag #JinAnassistant, and hashtag #ProtectBTS Harmony have even been trending for 2 days in a row. Who exactly is this assistant? The figure of Jin's assistant becomes the main concern. The woman with the initials L is known to have worked with Jin since 2023. Initially, he only handled Jin's schedule and personal needs, but since 2024, L seems to have started participating in some training sessions and has even been seen accompanying Jin at some unofficial events, not a few soldiers who voiced their suspicions, showing up too often, even where it's not part of his job. There is something strange. Why can the staff be so intimate? However, others defended Jin, stating that as an idol who is undergoing military service and transitioning his solo career, Jin certainly needs more support, debate, or protection. Interestingly, industry observers say that Jungkook's actions could be a form of protection against Jin, not merely anger. In the world of K-pop, the line between professionalism and personal relationships is very thin. An assistant can be an important figure, but if his involvement begins to change the dynamics of the group, it is normal for someone to feel disturbed. Jungkook, who takes great care of the harmony of the team, might see this as a threat, said Kim Ha-eun, a Korean pop culture analyst. However, does Jin see it as a threat or a form of betrayal of his privacy? This is what provokes conflict. HYB was silent, but the damage control movement smelled. So far, HYB has not issued an official statement. However, observant fans noted a sudden change in the members' interactions. Several big fanbase accounts said Jin was not seen with his assistant when he last appeared at a military promotion event, and Jungkook was not seen at the same location despite being previously scheduled to attend. Is this part of the damage control strategy? Some suspect HYB is crafting a new narrative to dampen this conflict before it develops into a major scandal. Is this just a sensation? But in the midst of all this uproar, skeptical voices also emerged. Some netizens said that this could be a deliberate publicity strategy. With Jin preparing for the release of his solo album, Echo, and Jungkook still the main face of global promotions, this kind of drama could actually attract wider attention. Is this really a conflict? Or is it just HYB's clever way of building expectations and keeping the spotlight on BTS? Wrote a Twitter user with the account at K-pop Realness. Between loyalty, privacy, and the public, of course, this is not just a two-member debate. This is a reflection of the tremendous pressure faced by K-pop idols, where their privacy becomes public and any personal decision can cause a huge wave in cyberspace. If it is true that Jungkook is angry not because of jealousy or personal conflicts, but because he cares about the dynamics of BTS, then the next question is, how far can a member get involved in another member's personal affairs? On the other hand, if Jin felt betrayed because his privacy was being tampered with, could this have triggered a deeper rift? Army split. Hashtag Team Jin versus hashtag Team JK? Inevitably, this situation also caused a small split among the fans. Some loudly defended Jin and called Jungkook too meddling. Others praised Jungkook's courage to voice concerns despite having to reprimand Hyung himself. But there are also those who prefer to remain neutral, warning that speculation can be dangerous. Don't let gossip divide the fandom. We don't know the whole truth. Conclusion: the drama is not over, yet one thing is certain. This story has not yet reached its climax. Will the genie clarify? Will HYB speak up? Or is it that this story will end in silence like many other internal conflicts in the entertainment world? Until then, one thing ARMY should keep in mind: behind the glitters of the stage and the warm smiles of the idols, there is a human dynamic that is fragile, complex, and sometimes full of surprises. And as always, the public sees only a small part of the real reality. What do you think, ARMY? Is Jungkook really mad because he cares? Or is there another reason that hasn't been revealed yet? Is the relationship between Jin and his assistant just professional? Or is it more than that? Are we witnessing the beginning of a rift, or just a small ripple in their sea of friendship? Drama Jin, Jungkook, and his assistants. Fact or media fabrication? ARMY asked to think critically in the midst of a storm of sensations. What we see is the truth. Or is it just a grand stage curated to get us emotionally involved? After the shocking news of a possible conflict between Jungkook and Jin surfaced, it's time for the public, especially the ARMY, to pause and ask the fundamental question: is this real? Is it true that there is a heated debate behind the scenes just because of a personal assistant? Or is this just a deliberate cut of the drama to keep the public staring at the screen? Looking forward to the next episode. As discussed in the previous article, rumors about BTS's internal conflicts have again become a hot topic of conversation. The issue of Jungkook's alleged anger over Jin's too close relationship with his assistant has spread rapidly, splitting the ARMY into two camps: those who believe that this is a real problem, and those who judge this as a mere fabrication. But let us examine more deeply, not just provoked emotions. Are all these really facts? The root question: why now and why them? First of all, let's ask, why did this kind of news appear now? Jin is in the promotion period ahead of the release of his solo album titled Echo, while Jungkook is still HYB's main highlight in international collaboration projects. Both are in key positions in the agency's promotion strategy. Then comes the internal drama that drags the name of the personal assistant and is supported by evidence in the form of unverified voice recordings. Is this a coincidence? For some, the answer is simple: it's purely a media strategy. The world of K-pop is known to be very adept at shaping narratives. Internal issues, both real and fictional, are often polished to invite public emotion. Isn't it easier to intrigue the public with internal rumors than to rely solely on conventional song promotion, voice recording, evidence, or bait? The recording sounds like an argument. But in the age of technology and AI as it is now, isn't it very possible for a record to be engineered? We don't see who is speaking, don't know the full context, are only given snippets of emotional sentences, as one critical fan said on Twitter. We only hear voices, we don't see faces. What if it was cut from an old conversation that had absolutely nothing to do with the issue? If there really is a conflict, why is there not a single official statement from HYB or related parties? Usually, for this kind of sensitive issue, the agency will be quick to respond. But this time it just feels like letting the rumors grow. Is this meant to distract the public from other issues? Army asked to think critically. Who benefits? Try to look at it from a broader perspective. Who benefits if these rumors continue to circulate? HYB. Amid the fierce competition of the entertainment industry, keeping BTS's name relevant is a major task. When there is no group activity, rumors can be a covert marketing tool.